it's really important to identify your strengths, score at least average in my name is Violet, and today I want to talk about how to score at least average on the exams. Okay, but before I say that, I want to wish everyone in the last 844 generation success. You're the last. It's so exciting. It's like you're so special and everything. And I was also in 844. I know the toughness. I know how tough it can be. Um, but you can do it. You can still succeed. I also succeeded. I'm proof that you can succeed. Okay. And right now there's some time to study, but it's not a lot. So you better be practical right now. So that's why I wanted to make this video for the last 844 Gen, how to score at least average in the exams. Now I want to say that I actually got slightly above average kind of grade. I got a grade that's the lowest in me going to university. I got a C plus. So yeah, I'm the perfect person for this video. And I went to university. Okay. And doors were opened for me. So yeah, this is for you. Especially if you just want to get at least an average mark, or at least the basic, the baseline mark of what you need to go straight to university. Okay. So first of all, I'm a really above average student. Okay. But things happen in high school, and you don't only focus on education, you focus on other things. And I could have scored even higher. So I want to talk about so that you can even score maybe higher than me. And the first one was irregular revision. I wasn't revising as regularly as I should. I remember when, even in studying math, at first I wasn't really revising regularly, but when I told myself to be revising regularly, my marks exponentially went up. Okay, so that's with math. But obviously in other subjects that didn't work so much, like chemistry, and I think the mistake I made in chemistry and those sciences was not, which I should have, okay, because I was just reading everything and it was a lot, and I should have just noted what exactly I need to work on a lot more than the others. Okay, so maybe that could help in you scoring even better than I did in the examinations, the 844 examinations. Okay, and yeah, it's really important to identify your strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so yeah, with that, let's get into the video. Okay, the first thing I want to say is Kenyan exams am I actually talking about? I did 844. Okay, so this will mostly apply to people who are doing 844 in Kenya, and the people doing this is the last year such an exam will be administered in Kenya according to the current law. I don't know if it will change in the future. I don't know, but mostly I'll be talking about the 844 examination. But maybe if you're not in 844, maybe you're in CBC or international or whatever, some tips here can help you. I don't know. Maybe some can help you. Okay. And when I say 844 examinations, I'm also talking about the national examinations like KCSE. Okay. KCP. KCP is a bit easier, according to me, than KCSE. And I'm not really sure if you remember KCPE at all. So, but maybe it can apply to KCP, but mostly my memory is in 844, is in KCSE. So that's what I'm saying, it mostly applies to that. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, let's go to the next point. The next point is key things to know. So right now, you don't want to focus on everything. You want to focus on the key things, the very key things that you should know. So you want to look at past papers, stuff like that. Questions that have repeated themselves, the very key. Okay, focus on the very key. Because if you start focusing on other things and everything, you're gonna run out of time, you're gonna get brain fog, and you're gonna go to the exam room feeling like you wanna cry and die. So just right now, okay, I don't care if your dream was to read the entire book before examination period. Okay, you'll do that after. And after you can repeat if you want. I don't know, but right now, if you don't want to go to the exam room and cry and feel like you should just go home and die, focus on the key things only. And that's very important. Okay. Yeah. And the next thing, set your target score and you be reasonable. Okay, don't start saying you want an A and you must get C's and C plus and stuff like that. Don't do that. Okay, no. Be realistic, set a target score. Okay, it is what it is, and in the future that can change. You can in the future. Life is good, by the way. I already graduated KCSE and I got that grade. That's base grade, and life has been good. Even if I didn't get like all A's, I still went to university. I graduated. If you can see the things in the back, that's a congratulations for graduating. Okay, and then there's this things that I got, and that answer that I got. Okay, that's huge success, good, huge success. Like my life is great still. And even if you get like you set like a low target score or something, like C plus C, you can still start later on from like diploma or something like that. I didn't do diploma, but you can still start from diploma. You don't have to worry. Okay, some repeat, some because in high school there's just a lot of things going on, and that final mark is not really a measure of your intelligence. It's just what you could get based on the cards you had to deal with. So yeah, um, yeah, just set your targets, go and be realistic so that you don't cry and feel awful. Okay. Set it. Set it and work towards it. Okay. And be realistic about it. Okay. The next thing is to list options for university universities that you want to go to. At least four. Okay. Don't just put one. And you know, when you're in high school, especially in Ghana, that whole process of choosing universities, I don't know if this is only in the 844 system or not, but you know, it's not really prioritized as something important, and you just end up picking whatever. Um, don't do that. Don't do that. Do your research. You know, just be more ambitious and stuff, and look at universities and write at least four that you might want to go to, just for the sake of life experience and not wasting your time and knowing what you want. Like you can pick a university where you're like, okay, just want to finish as the first one. Okay, you pick a university where you want to experience town. Okay, you want to experience town life. So whatever, just do it. Be ambitious, love life, have plans. Yeah. And the next thing, and yeah, I think I'm gonna show a little tutorial. Yeah, I think I'll create like a table on that, so that oh, I can do that, and or I can do that, or you'll see when I edit, I'll figure it out. But let me just show you a test I did recently. It was a German test, okay, and I passed, but I didn't really revise it so much, and I thought I would ace this test, okay, and I did, but obviously I got some things wrong, okay, and like for example, in determining professions, I got like 3 correct and 2 wrong, so that's my weakness. And in conjugating verbs is something German, something in the Romance languages or something. It's not really something for you to worry about. It's not in English, but I'm kind of weak there. Yeah, 2 questions. I wasn't really good at conjugating verbs, and also I'm using doc. Okay, don't worry about that. But it's like a German word. It has no English translation, so I can't tell you what it means. But the thing is, those are my weaknesses, right? Those are my weaknesses. So when I revise and start focusing on the things that I already know, because everything else I passed, okay, and there were a lot of questions. I passed the questions of personal pronouns, greetings, nicht, which is not okay. Don't worry so much about that. Of numbers, of family members, of also other conjugations I passed. It's a certain type of conjugation I don't pass. Personal profile. Personal profile, I even got like the teacher even said good with an exclamation mark. And matching conversation replies. Conversation to their replies. So the weaknesses are like 3. Okay. The strengths are like all that. So obviously when I revise next, I'm gonna focus more on what? On the weaknesses than the strengths, because why? Like there's no time. And the thing with exams, there's no time to just read for the sake of read. You have to read smart. Okay, you have to smart. You have to work smart, not work hard. Okay, it's just how it is. You have to be smart in reading for exams. So yeah, just be smart. I might show you even more on that because it's a very important thing to know. So for identifying your strengths and weaknesses, okay, work smart, not hard. Work smart. Okay.
Okay, guys, so this is the more that I wanted to talk to you about. And it's basically how to identify your weakest KCSE subject and the solution. So it's solution 1 that I talked about. I only recommend this solution to anyone who scores around similar marks on all subjects, which is a very few select group of students. So I wouldn't recommend this to most students, but if you know for a fact you really fit in here, then this is for you. And then I've explained exactly what you do. You input your most recent exam results, input last year's KCSE average score, which is always this. Okay, for as long as I've known KCSE, I've known it's always this. Okay, but before I think it was higher. Okay, but for as long as I've known KCSE, that's the national average, and then you work out the percentage difference and rank yourself. So like I've given examples of subjects there. You just write your recent exams, national average, and then you rank. And then you can see even if there's like 50 somethings, the average will be 60%, which is like the lowest B minus. But it's still a B minus, okay? Take what you have. So this is just like an example templates-ish for you to write your recent exams, the national average, and you rank yourself according to that. Now this solution 2, dropping a subject mentally. Okay, I highly recommend this. Okay, because this is applicable to most candidates, because most of us have a subject that we really just can't get into our head, especially considering the deadline for examination. So, sometimes you just have to be practical and realistic and just drop the subjects mentally. Revise it very lightly and amplify the subjects that you are really strong in tackling. To that dropped subject, utaenda ujisomee home vizuri. As they say in Kiswahili, okay, it means you just handle that later. In case you want to handle it later, you go handle it later. But now we are racing with time. We're racing with time, and we just want to go to university. So I've given like an example here. For example, and you be practical and realistic. Like for example, you can tell yourself English C. That's 6 points. There is hope there. Math B minor 8. Hope there is hope there. Kiswahili B minor 8 points. There is hope. Biology C minus 5. There is hope in that subject. History B minor 8 points. There is hope. CRE B 9. There is hope. Business B 9. There is hope. Chemistry, no, you drop that one. You get 3 points. If you only add the point of the subject where there is hope, that's already 53 points, which is technically a B minus, literally. But obviously, since NEC will realize that you dropped with air quotes chemistry, for instance, you will get a C plus. But it will still get you into university straight out of high school. Okay, so you can just duplicate that. Here is your results, subject, target, grade points, hope. Then just copy and paste, and yeah, there you get the total points. And I've advised you to aim for at least technically a B minus if you can, like the way I've done up here. So yeah, it's just a matter of knowing who you are, being realistic, being practical. Yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to elaborate more. Okay, back to the video.
In revision and also in the exam time, so just allocate time appropriately. In exam time, speed. Work on your speed. Okay. In every subject, work on your speed. And in revising, obviously, you figure it out. Okay, I don't want to give you a rigid time management because for everyone it's different, obviously based on his strengths and weaknesses and a lot of factors actually. So customize it for yourself. Yeah, yeah. Let me not advise you so much, but yeah, and also extra time. But I don't want to. Actually, you're the last people. You're the last 844 people. So why not? Why not do something technically not allowed? Um, you're the last. So, anyway, it's not really a bad thing. When I was studying KCSE, bedtime was like 9 p.m. Everyone was supposed to be sleeping or something. But obviously, we were almost about to do KCSE. So some people slept late because they want to study some more. Because you know what? The teachers, instead of letting us revise during prep time, they will come and teach us things. And sometimes they teach us things and we don't even understand. And it's like I could have been using this time doing something else. So, but obviously you can't tell the teacher that, so you just find a place and study some extra because other people are doing it. And the competition is high, the competition is tough. So sometimes you just have to do what other people are doing. Okay, don't try to be a nice little girl. Especially right now in the deadline. But you know what? I don't want to look like I'm advising you badly. I love water. I love, but I'm just telling you what we did. So take that as you will. Okay, and I still got like a C plus, and I said it extra. So take that as you will. Take that as you will. Competition is tough. And here there's 5 things to do in improving your score. And the first thing, okay, each thing has like subtopics in it, so be attentive. Okay, the first thing is examiners are tricky. Okay, they just like to trick students. They don't want to be direct. I don't know why, but because I'm thinking if I was an examiner, I will just be so direct. Okay, because what's the point of trying to be tricky? And I don't see the point, but examiners do this. So you have to be careful in this verbal understanding of, of words. And the first point in this is so, like if you're asked if something is true, it has to be directly from like a passage. Okay, this is mostly English and Kiswahili. Okay, ukiulizwa kama kitu ni sahihi, ho nimesahau Kiswahili. Studying three languages. So ukiulizwa kama kitu ni sahihi ama ni sahihi ama si sahihi. So if it's direct, it has to be directly from the passage. If it's false, it has to contradict the passage. If you can't tell, you can't tell if it's it because it's not explicitly from the passage. It's not contradicting. So you say you can't tell. You should say you can't tell. Because you can't. So that is verbal workings of things. But sometimes examiners they want a straightforward answer, especially in Kenyan exams. So in that, consult your teacher because sometimes examiners they can want a straightforward answer. Okay, say it's true or false, and you explain. Yeah. So in that, consult your teacher. Where generally, ideally, there's true and there's false and there's you can't tell. Okay. Yeah. And the second thing in this verbal and keywords, they might be very tricky in the words. Sometimes we read questions, we don't read question. We skim, just skim through it. Don't really read every word. So you have to read every word because that's if you don't, that's when they start tricking you. Yeah. So read every word of a question. Even in a passage, every word, because they can start tricking you there in a bit in the middle. So read every word. because I'm telling you to read every word and you must be like, yeah, but that's gonna take a lot of time. No, you can just improve your reading speed. And one way of improving your reading speed, I don't know if your teacher told you this, but you can just the passage. Okay, just do like this, like this, like this. The passage or the whatever, and you read faster. Okay, and we know them. This is the time to stop because you are actually it's actually making you read slower, and speed is very important in these exams. Actually, in every thing that I'm going to talk about in improving your score, I'm gonna be talking about speed. Speed is very important. Speed is very important in every subject that you're gonna do. Whether it's maths, English, Swahili, whatever, it's very important. So, quantitative. The first thing, math questions are tricky. Okay, not just English questions. They like to trick you. I don't know why, but they just know there's a common question that they normally show, and then in this question they just trick you a bit. It's just so annoying, but you just have to read everything. Okay, free marks. Writing the units, free marks, and they have to be the correct units. Okay, whether it's centimeters, whether it's meters, whether it's days. Okay, whether it's grams, whatever. Okay, and also the question might have, for example, kilograms, and the question is asking you to find the answer in grams. So you have to look at the tricks and don't forget that last part because now you've lost a free mark for what? So you also have to know those conversions. Okay. There was that method King Herod dressed me. King Herod. It's a long time still I did that I did the paper bats. Yeah, those mnemonics. And I'm gonna talk about mnemonics later actually. But yeah, conversion, units, free marks, why lose them? So yeah. Speed in math. Okay, because I know math, that's when people really struggle with speed. You have to work on your speed. You have to be chop chop. Okay. So some people they start with the easy ones first and the hard ones later. Um yeah, they think that's good because it will keep the momentum. Like whatever you have to do to keep the speed high, you do it. Honestly, this I've done like CPA foundation level, and there's this unit, and it's called quantitative analysis, and it's very quantitative. It's even in the name. Um, the thing that's helped me with revising is reading and rereading the question again. Okay, and if there's an example, I read and reread the example answer again because it's very easy to forget math. Okay, that's why in math it's very encouraged to do like regular revisions, because it's very easy to forget mathematics. So just make it so regular in your life. Yeah. Okay, use the calculator. Wait, do you use calculators? I don't know. Yes, I think you do. It's the people in KCSE that don't use calculators. Yes, yes, yes. So, use them. Okay, so that you hurry up. Don't start writing on the paper, I don't know, whatever. Just, and if you can find calculator tricks, I might also show you some calculator tricks. You just use them. Okay, because you need to be so fast. You need to be so fast, especially in maths. Okay, with that thing, I wanna call it abstract reasoning, because that's the term medics use when they revise. Anyway, okay, I was talking about mnemonics of adjectives, like that Bodmer's mnemonics. I think there's many mnemonics in social studies. Okay, like I remember when I was in is it social studies? History, history in government. Social studies is primary. Sometimes the teachers will play like videos for us that have mnemonics, and we will note them down. So mnemonics are your best friend. Have them. If you have a mnemonic that your teachers told you, that a book has told you, keep it in your head, because they're really gonna help. Okay. So mnemonics are your best friend. And this is when a question has information, and some information is not even necessary for the final answer. So don't waste time with that. Okay, I'm thinking you'll get extra marks. You'll get none marks, and you'll get waste time lost by doing a question that's not answered, even if that information was in the question. That's just there to distract you. It's just there to distract you and trick you. It's not there to get you extra marks. So, and waste your time. So don't do them. Okay? Don't walk on speed. I'll keep repeating speed until you get it in your head that you need to walk your speed. Okay. Compositions and insha. Now these ones. Oh god. And okay, what I used to do was think of a story before the composition and insha, and then when the composition and insha comes, I just twist the story to fit the instruction given there. Yeah, because that's faster. But obviously, some teachers advise vidokezo and stuff like that. Um, I never used to do them because they were wasting my time. And the most important thing in exam is speed. You have to be speed. speedy and accurate. So how can you be speedy and accurate and start trading with okay so stuff? But if it works for you, sure. But it didn't work for me. So whatever thing that makes you be fast. Okay, be fast but also answer all the questions. In all these things I'm telling you, whatever thing that helps you be fast and also answer all the questions and also answer them accurately, do it. Because I don't want to advise you, don't even rate those video games. Um, do whatever will make you go fast, okay? Because the examiner won't care that you're not done. Some might, but generally, ideally, they don't. So just hurry up. The fifth thing I want to talk about, this is the last thing, under improving your score is those questions that are application. We call them application questions, like things to do with ethics, things to do with stuff like that. And the thing is, you can actually prepare for such questions. Um, so in whatever, this is like a trick I've learned in whatever like subject. Like for example, you in theory, you just search online good Christian practices and you note them down somewhere. You will find that in every question that's application, those practices can apply there in some way. So you just like twist the words a bit, you know? Like in business, you just search good business practices. Then you twist the words a bit, you add more jargon. They just want you to be wordy and stuff. In such questions, you have to write, okay? Especially in business. Actually, let me talk about business. Because business was where I scored the highest. I had a B in business. And the people who were around me and they were failing were the people who were like, to be honest, they were lazy to write. But those business examiners and CRA examiners, especially, yeah, because I scored high. I think my highest subjects were business, CRA, math, history. Kiswahili, English. Then another one I did in that order. Yeah. Okay, chemistry was the last. Okay, okay, it was bio, then chem was the last. Yeah, chemistry was tough, but yeah, I scored like B's in business theory, history, and what's it called? I don't know. Kiswahili. What was I gonna say? I think it was biology, English, then chemistry. So anyway, the thing that helped me the most was writing a lot of stuff. Okay, being so wordy. Okay, and everyone who wasn't wordy in those internal exams that we were doing in like business, whatever, they always scored lower than me. Always. Okay, always. So I'm not saying I was an A student, but I was higher because of being more wordy in my examinations. They want you to talk and speak. So I don't know what the A students did to get the A, But yeah, that's what I did to not. I don't think I ever scored less than a B in my entire high school in business. So be worthy. Write down. Be worthy. Resources to use, past papers, your best friend. Okay, past papers. And these books that teachers recommend you. I know teachers right now are recommending you books to read. Those are also good resources. Okay, listen to your teachers when they recommend books. Okay, even if you have to pay for them sometimes, from them, they will really help you. So don't ignore. They will really help you. Okay, I'm not sure about the chemistry one because chemistry I still got the book and I pay chemistry. So, but like the business handbook that I got from a teacher, that was actually great. That was really helpful. So yeah, you need to have those resources for now. And yeah, I wish you all the best in your exams. I wish you all the best. Oh my gosh, you're gonna be the last 844 people in the world. Okay, not in the world. In Kenya, as of the current law. Yeah, that makes you special because I don't know who else to tell about 844 except maybe say the youngest people I can tell about 844. Other people will consider it's like other younger people will consider it okay. So that makes you special. That makes you special. You're special to me, and I wish you success in your exam. Yeah, life is good out here. Life is good. When you get a C plus, don't be like, oh no, life is good. Okay, even if you get lower, life is good. Life is good. So I wanna live with that. I don't want you to start thinking all these awful things. You start thinking, you know what, it's stuff like that because you are, and you are special. I've already told you you are special. So just know that you're special and I love you. And success. All the best. Cheers to you. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Bye. Also, guys, I completely forgot I'm doing a giveaway of this book, Execution, The Discipline of Getting Things Done. And it's a business book mostly. It has a lot of business jargon, but the title is very much about execution, and it can be really helpful to students as well. So in case you're interested, I'm doing a giveaway, and yeah, and I want to show you how it can also apply to students. Like over here, there's like essential behaviors to have in education. Insist on realism. Set clear goals and priorities. Follow through. Reward. Expand capabilities. Know yourself. Doesn't that kind of apply to students too? So it's a very motivational book, and if you're interested in improving yourself, productivity, and also business, this would be a great book for you. Okay, and you know what you have to do for the giveaway is, subscribe, okay, and comment your Instagram, and I will send this to you. Okay, make sure to follow me on Instagram because I will be announcing the winner of the book there. Yeah, and the giveaway will be forever open until someone wins. So yeah, success again in your terms. Bye.